Hey, what's up, good people? So your boy's about to do a fun thing. I was sighting in my bow, my big boy bow, because when I was at the range the other day, the shoot, which I will be giving the update on the shoot today, but they set up a little mini 3D shoot inside. That was pretty cool, but I was not able to participate because I didn't have my bow sighted in outside of the garage shooting and the long range shooting. So I had to run up to the house, get a memory card, got it all sighted in. But then while I was doing that, I had another idea. So this video is going to be convoluted with archery updates of my last competition, as well as me shooting a 40-yard 300 game. Probably not shooting the full 300, just because I've been down here a little bit and I think it's time to get upstairs soon. But gonna shoot the fat boys at the target, gonna pin up the target, and we're gonna have some fun. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned. Peace. Let's get this party started. Round one is done. Freaking hands, dude. Round two. I hope the framing is right. I think it's right. Looks solid. There's two in the bank. The same hole. Oh crap. All right, so yeah, so I shot last weekend, I believe it was. Been busy, been wanting to record, give an update. I'm actually going off the top of my head. I shot a 318, dropped 2 or 3 nines in the first half of the game ends, whatever you want to call it. Just had my mind on a lot of other things and just some things going on inside the family. No updates really needed for that, but at the half point was able to call my wife, calmed everything down, locked it in, shot a lot cleaner on the back end of that competition. With that being said, somehow I inched it out with a 318 and got the dub. So now on the year, I believe I've gotten first, second, and then first in regards to the local TSA or TSO tournament. So praise God for that, really excited. But got a whole lot to clean up. Got a whole lot of mental headspace to be able to work through and be able to lock it in earlier. Not being able to lock it in until about halfway through is not going to cut it, in my opinion, when it comes down to shooting with some of the other people that I really want to shoot with one day. So that's the archery competition update. I did meet this really cool guy. His name was Little. I can't remember his first name. Really cool guy. Ran into him. We ended up talking about some archery stuff, running a dope title. He had some UV bars. I'd never seen him in person. Those things look sick. But with all that being said, we had a really cool conversation. I heard him talking about some medallions he was going to put on his bow, which made me super excited. He was talking about putting a wolf on it. I was like, oh, that's about to be hard. Now, in competition, I wasn't in the headspace to actually comment on it, and I think he ended up leaving beforehand, but he shot really, really good. I'm pretty sure he beat me out. Younger guy, and he was shooting in a different class than I was. I'm shooting in the advanced, like adult, and I didn't actually ask him what he was shooting in, but he is part of a team. Really cool. They have like a really dope wolf emblem, so I think that's why he's gonna get that for his bow. But with that being said, yo, keep it up. Love the shooting and great shooting that weekend, and hopefully we get to come out victorious on the back end when we get to the shootout. So with that being said, got some other things I want to update you guys on, but it's time for round 3. Cut off. All right, so we're having some camera difficulties. Hopefully that one's recording. Yeah, that was a terrible shot. Now it's back somewhere. I'm sure over in that corner. All right, anyways, continuing round 3. High. Just dropped 2 9s. Not a good look. All right, round 4. And yes, I have 2 jackets on, don't judge me. From Florida. And it's not even cold right now, but my hands are freezing. Locked in. Let's do better. Oh my gosh. That's round 4. Oh, that is a donut with an 8. 2 donuts with an 8. I guess I just need to shoot an 8 at first, then hit the middle of the middle every time. Round 5. What did I just do? This is why shooting out, no, I'm taking a pause right here. This is why shooting at range is so important, because you start noticing the BS that you've been getting away with at 20 yards. I know they say 20 yards indoors is like the best way to practice, but I'm not sure it is. Because you can get away with some crap and still feel good about yourself, especially when you're shooting these fat, thick, big ol' arrows. Follow through, whatever, everybody talks about the follow through back here, but not, people call it torque. So the hand torque. So at break, I didn't feel any torque, but I know right when I was shooting, when I was done with my shot, was when I just thought about activating my release. And when I did that, I just let my bow do whatever. I don't know what it's gonna look like on camera, no idea, but I do know where the pressure got to in my palm, got to my thumb, and it was like I just dumped the bow over there. It was like, oh, get away. And I'm pretty sure I just threw it super far right. Like a freaking, I don't even think that that's an 8. That might be in the blue. That's bad. Not good at all. Little things. A bunch of little things stack up over and over and over again. Well, that's the end of 5th. When I get back, we'll talk. So like random note for the day was vocabulary. I think a lot of people say it, but the way this guy said it while I was at this competition resonated with me. Something that always bothered me personally, when people would say, well, don't worry about your pin, it doesn't matter. Especially when you're shooting 3D or outdoor, where you're shooting different ranges, your sight housing, all of that matters. Because if you're not consistently lining that stuff up, then you're not gonna shoot consistent anywhere. I don't care who you are. So the idea of saying don't worry about it really bothered me, because it was just to an extreme, in my personal opinion, that was like, don't even consider it, just shoot your bow and get good habits, and that's all that matters. Then there's a guy that I was actually talking to the other day on social media, and he was just like, no, well, I don't mean not focusing on it at all. It's just, especially for indoor, you just need to work on your habits and you're building good muscle memory. And I was like, no, I respect that, but I just think it kind of goes a little too far sometimes. And so with what I'm getting at is the idea of this soft focus. So I've always said the pin still matters. You can't not stop worrying about the pin, but I never knew exactly how to translate it, because I also don't mean that you need to focus on where the pin is and move it to where you want it all the time, because that's what leads to this crazy, just you can't get the pin where you want it. And then that's where I hear a lot of people say, well, focus on where you want to hit on the target. Totally agree. But both have to simultaneously work, because you don't want to just shoot when the pin's not where you want it. So you have to be aware of the pin. And so when I was talking to this guy, he said that he had been in archery for a long time, was name dropping some names that had been in archery for a while. And so obviously I'm just going to be a student of the game and be okay with not being the smartest one in the room and just listen. And so it was cool though. One of the things that really resonated with me was, again, the idea of a soft focus. It's not this idea of hard, this is the only thing that matters, but it's the idea of allowing your pin to be in a soft focus. And I think about it when your camera is trying to rack for focus and trying to grab, it's not like the thing ever really just disappears, or even to the point of extreme blurriness. I think everybody is going to have their highest, their level of focus or their level of whatever when it comes down to archery, which is why it's so hard to really pinpoint how much of the pin you should be seeing. But when he said soft focus, there was something about that I felt like was pretty universal, that a lot of people would be able to resonate with. And maybe just the idea of, hey, don't worry about your pin resonates with you. But I really love the idea of, hey dude, no, when you're focusing on your target, yes, you're gonna be aware of your pin, but be aware of it within the soft focus rather than a hard focus. So maybe that's just something that was cool to me. I don't know, but if it helps you out and it's cool, it gives you something to chew on for later on to give to somebody else, great, give it on. It's knowledge, it's for everybody. Now, how you apply it is totally up to you. So this is N6, and I've been dropping my first few shots or trading my first few shots. So I'm going to try to do better and not drop them this time. So we got 5 more ends, and I'm losing light anyways. So let's get this party on the road. That's why we stay focused. And that is round 6. 2 more shots away from 8,000. For a working man that's only on the boat for 4 months, I'll take it. I remember playing football, so I played at Carson Newman. Go Eagles. But I remember we had some morning practices that were so cold, literally. So you have the little water hoses. I'm not sure if you've ever played football. You have the water hoses, and there's one or few practices where you go to get some water and nothing comes out, and all you hear is and you kick the ice that is in what is supposed to be all water. Miserable practices. I remember literally getting back to the SAC, and that's our building, trying to take off my cleats because you couldn't walk around in the building with your cleats on. So I'm literally trying to take off my cleats. I crawled to my locker that day. The other days I had some other people help me out, but something's up with my hands where I get terrible circulation in the cold, so I'm not a fan of it. All right, here we go. There we go. Whatever end this is. 7, 8, 7, something. I don't know. All right. End 9. I counted when I got up there, just to make sure. So we got 2 more ends. Oh, beautiful. Where they hit high. All right, last end, and we'll see how it goes. But this is actually a good practice. I think I'm definitely gonna do this more now that my hunting season's over. I got the freezer completely filled. So now I got a little bit more free time. And so sneaking out here for some longer range practice at these paper targets will definitely be beneficial for the long haul, I think. So help calm the nerves when it's up close and personal, but more importantly, show me some flaws in my own shooting process. So let me know if you're doing this, what your scores look like. 'Cause I'll be curious to know how I rank up with those other people that are shooting at 40 out of Vegas face. So anyways, stay easy, stay breezy, and never forget, be better in all that you do, whether that's archery, husband, your Christian walk, your daddy, fatherhood, or just coworker, whatever it is, just remember to always try to be a little bit better and be the best that you can be at whatever you're doing. Let's be great. I think that's high. So, I'm not sure if I'm definitely not the only one doing this, but so for a little BTS behind the scenes, this is how I like to keep track of what I'm doing. And over to the right, like over under the date, I'll usually put some notes in regards to what my tendency was, if I was missing a certain way, or sometimes I'll just draw lines from other areas that would say like low, high, and just to see so I can track where I'm doing. And then I'll put more notes. I was shooting my skinny boy arrows or fat boy arrows or whatever, just so I have a log for like later on dates. But if you're doing that, I wonder what your notes look like. Let me know. Talk to me. And if you're not, tell me it's beneficial. Start seeing trends. Not that I look back on a lot of dates, but at least in the sessions, helps me out so I can figure out what my issues were for that day. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, peace.